I'd like to jump to your TV because I think your TV is one of the better ones I've seen. I know you guys tweet out pictures a lot of updates, which is super cool. But and you have a number of them. You have like 22 TVs. But I think this will be neat for folks on the call, both clients and non, to kind of hear how you guys are using this. And looks like you have that same contest on there. So walk us through your TVs.
Every day, this one's been changing on a daily basis. There were 16 of these on here, and it's important for us to show this right away. And then we have fun picking the pictures. It used to be where I came in here, we were using the pictures that you guys gave us. And then one day I'm like, you know what, let's make this fun. We need to see different pictures. So you could even see like the March Fantasy Contest. Obviously, Indianapolis is known for the Indianapolis 500. So we want to be able to showcase stuff like this throughout the day. Obviously, they're moving people around a track going in a circle. But, in my fantasy world, I'd probably rather be in one of those cars driving around in a circle than dealing in traffic on a daily basis. So then one of the things we look at too is percentage loads booked with carrier in rep's name. And what we mean by that is we have a lot of situations in here. Our growth goal is to make sure that our carrier reps are booking trucks with carriers that they call on a daily basis. And that's how we're going to grow as a company. And
right.
Obviously, that's big for us to watch. These numbers have been going up throughout the month. Number 3 is Alec. Alec is our pride and joy. Alec was with us when he was in high school just a couple years ago, and he did some dispatching for us at nighttime. And now that he's a freshman in college, he came in one night and he asked if he could work here full time while he was going to school. And we asked him why. He goes, pointed his finger out at everybody else. He goes, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And Alec has come in here and he's signed up 2 of the biggest carriers that we work with. And this month, 30% of his loads are booked with those carriers. So here's a 19-year-old kid who's figured it out. And we can't wait to see him grow and where he's going to be in 4 or 5 years with the company. It's just been great. Then here we showcase the goals like I was talking about earlier, where you can see the different goals. And we pull pictures up from whether it represents the state of Indiana or, different movies here like Boiler Room for Ben, who's our teacher. Or Corey has Iowa State because that's where he went to school. Different reps, different things.
And this is a unique. This is your live data. Like they're hitting, crazy profit numbers here, and it's almost the end of the month. So it was really cool.
Yeah, so it's fun for us to kind of go through. You can see like revenue from month to date. Like Andy, there he is. Like I was telling you, here's our top guy. Here's our top revenue.
Yeah,
we're watching that on a monthly basis.
But what's neat there is he's got him beat by like 200K in revenue, but you're focusing on activity for the March Madness.
Correct.
So it's driving future revenue as well. It doesn't allow your reps to sit. 600K is a ton, but it doesn't allow them to.
One of the big things I see in a lot of companies and places I've been is everyone always likes to point out, well, that guy just gets everything handed to him. It's like hearing scratches on a chalkboard when you hear people say that. But you just saw Andy in the number 1 spot. You saw his activity in the number 1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
Things aren't being handed to him.
Right.
He's working harder and smarter than everybody else. And that's what we're trying to focus on and show everybody. So
I think that's one of the cool things these TVs and the product does in general is like the go-getters, your 19-year-old example that is doing it. They now can see, hey, who are the peers out here that I can learn from? And it's not hidden behind a spreadsheet. They can go ask Andy, man, what are you doing to have all this success? Or, how are you getting such high percentage with your carrier network? And it kind of allows that, peer-to-peer coaching and development, more so than maybe when it's hidden behind in a spreadsheet, for example. Absolutely.
Well, the thing that we like too is the bottom of the screen. It kind of gives highlights of people who've had, the song has gone off or the bomb.
Yeah. Which you can issue one if you want by hitting that timer. We might be the only ones to hear it, but we can walk everybody through what's happening. It'll play our stock one, but this is the woo one you're talking about earlier that was going off on the floor. Yeah, there it goes. And this might only play on your side.
That's the Rocky one.
Yeah. So you can click off this in a second because we don't want it to play for 50 seconds. But
you don't want to go running up steps?
No, we can. We can let it go all the way through. But this is what he's talking about, where it's playing Woo on the 22 TVs. You can build those custom triggers. So what are your triggers that play someone's personalized anthem in the office? Do you know?
Some of our triggers, and we actually are going to increase this because we're going to have days where we walk out there with like small gift cards to Starbucks or other items, and give to them when their trigger goes off. So we're actually looking at doing some things there. But let me get to. I know there's another way to go, but this is the way I.
Yeah, there's two ways. It's all good. Yeah, there's some of them. So read these. It might be hard for people to read them, but what's some of these triggers here you have for this TV?
One of these is activity score over 125. So when they're active,
25% goal.
Yep, and then loads covered for the day is 12. We're going to increase that one because of guys like Andy who hit 20 every day. You know, I hear his Fleetwood Mac song every day, so I want to hear some other people's stuff too. But we want to make it difficult for them to be able to hear there. Outbound calls over 120. That's big. And as well as sales over $10,000 for the day on revenue. And that's for everybody. It's important that everybody's hitting different revenue numbers. And we go back and we're going to review some of these and actually raise them. Again, we want to celebrate these, and then we're going to add some. And it's pretty easy, like you said, to add the different triggers. One of the things that we do is we have triggers that we actually get the Excel spreadsheets throughout the day, or actually the reporting. I think, as a matter of fact, if I can find it here real quick, I'll show you one of the ones I get at noon every day.
Yeah, so like the automated triggers. If you go under the pie chart there on the left, that'll be your email triggers, and it'll just show you the ones that you've got built out.
Right. Yeah, right here.
So you get one at noon every day?
We get one at noon every day, and that tells us for the business development team who's under 20 phone calls for that point. We want to know who's not on track to hit their 40 calls outbound every day. That way he can get in their faces a little bit. He goes over to them and sees what's going on for the day.
Right. Which is important. You know, on the TV, you've got hard things to achieve for your go-getters. Celebrate them. You know, keep it a little bit more private with email, but you still should know, hey, this person's under pace at a specific time on dial. So triggers can be both, you know, public recognition, but also, you know, private, like, awareness for a manager to, you know, spot a spark before it's a fire. So I think that's really smart. Correct.
One of the other things that we do is, end of the day, sales numbers go out to the management team that we're getting pulled in from our TMS, and we also pull in the phone reports there to go out to the certain managers as well. So they have that information in front of them, so no one has to run the reports. It's all there for them when they get it in the morning, the main things that they want to see to start their day. In some cases, it's the end of the day. Like, I get a lot of these at the end of the day for myself, so I can forward them along to any of the managers if I see something, to either say, hey, this person's doing a great job, or hey, we need to work with this person on improving what they're doing. We never try to, we don't use it to yell at our people. We view it as a coaching tool, and it tells us a lot about what's going on.